Imagine a world where lying, cheating, and stealing are considered moral virtue, action to be praised rather than commended. Sound bizarre, right? Well, if I told you that for some people in some culture, what's right and what's wrong is completely different from what you and what I might believe. Today, we are dividing into moral relativism. The idea that morality is a universal and what's right and wrong depend entirely on your culture and personal beliefs. So, is morality really subjective? Let's find out today. Moral relativism is the belief that moral judgments, idea of what is wrong and what is right, are not absolute but rather subjective. That means they are shaped by the society, culture, or individual making the judgment so that right for one group might be wrong for another. There are two main types of moral relativism. The first one is cultural relativism. The idea that each culture has its own moral code and what we can't judge other cultures based on our own standards. The second one is individual relativism, where morality is up to each person. To put this into perspective, let's think about burial rituals. So, in some culture, cremation is a sign of respect, while in other culture, it's considered offensive. Another example, eating meat. Some cultures see it as perfectly fine, while others view it as unethical. So, according to moral relativism, none of these practices are objectively right or wrong. It depends on the cultural context. Now, moral relativism adds its upsides. For one, it promotes tolerance. If you believe that there are no universal moral truth, you are less likely to impose your values on others and more likely to respect different way of life. It's also help us avoid moral imperialism, where one culture tries to enforce its moral standard on another. This way, you are more open to understanding different society without judging them. Not everyone's a fan of moral relativism. Critics argue that it can lead to some dangerous ideas. For example, if moral relativism is true, how do we condemn practices like slavery, genocide, or human rights violation? If morality is subjective, who's to say that these actions are objectively wrong? Another issue is that it leads to inconsistency. If everyone has their own version of what's right and wrong, how do we create fair law and uphold justice on a global scale? On the flip side, there's moral objectivism, which argue that some moral principles are universal, things like justice, equality, respect for life, and so on. According to objectives, these values hold true regardless of culture or personal belief. This theory makes it easier to tackle global issues like human rights, but it also assumes that we can agree on what those universal values are. So here's the big question. Do you believe morality is relative, subject to personal or cultural beliefs, or do you learn more toward moral objectivism, where certain things are right or wrong, no matter where you are? Wherever you stand, it's an interesting debate that goes deep into how we understand justice, ethics, and human behavior. I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think morality is subjective or universal? Drop your comment below and let's get conversation going. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more deep dives in philosophy, and as always, thanks for watching.